Sawadee guys, and welcome to this week's training.
Sawadee. This week we're going to be focusing on some fight strategy and using a fake of one technique in order to set up for another technique.
It's about disguising one technique by using another technique.
So in other words, a way of deceiving your opponent in order to surprise him with a more powerful strike. So the element of surprise is obviously the key aspect of faking a technique.
And one example of how that can be done is, let's take, for instance, our back roundhouse kick, our back knee, and our back push kick. All three of them have the same start, stepping out at 45 degrees and bringing the knee up. However, the way you finish can differ. In that way, using one of these techniques 2 to 3 times can make way for another technique down the combo.
In order to set up that element of surprise, one needs to first stage the real technique and then follow with a fake. So if you have a fake within a sequence such as perhaps a tip into a fake roundhouse, you're first going to want to set it up with a tip real roundhouse, tip real roundhouse, and then your tip fake, so that that person is expecting the real technique, is going to react accordingly and defend against that particular technique, which creates that opportunity for you to turn it into something else and strike where your opponent may now be vulnerable.
Another example of a technique that can be set up by other techniques is our left hook, which can be very easily set up with a jab or a cross.
Being able to fake a technique requires that you have absolute control of the technique, because what you'll be doing is changing it midway. So you need to therefore have full control over the entire motion of that technique, and therefore be able to change at any point in the technique. The other thing with a fake technique is it needs to be really quick. That change from starting with one technique, moving into another, needs to be quick. If it's too slow, your opponent is going to pick it up very easily.
For our first combo, we're going to start with a jab, and then we're going to fake a jab and land a left hook.
Note how the hand comes out as it would for a jab, and then the very quick change of direction to turn it into a hook.
For our second combo, we're starting with a jab again, but this time we're letting our jab go all the way. And then we're using a cross to set up our left hook. Let's give it a try.
See how the right shoulder comes through as it would to start a cross, but then he changes to deliver the left hook. Exercise 3, you're going to be using your push tip, then faking a push tip to move forward, gain distance, and deliver a rear horizontal elbow.
For our fourth combo, we're starting with a front push kick, followed by a back push kick. Now we can step our foot out at 45 degrees as we place it down from a front foot kick, so that it allows our hip to come through much better for our back push kick. Except we're only using that back push kick to set up a roundhouse kick to the head. With this technique, the more balanced we are, the easier it gets. And the way to stay balanced is to watch our stance, keep our chin down, and keep our C-section.
Exercise 5 is a lead roundhouse followed by a fake rear roundhouse into a rear tip. Set up to start with the lead roundhouse, regular rear roundhouse. Watch the change in direction. It starts off as a roundhouse, leg comes across, hand comes down as it would for a roundhouse. The hip then changes direction to push out into your rear tip. From the front you can see the change more clearly. The leg starts coming up at 45 degrees, that knee is pointing up 45 degrees as it would for a roundhouse, then turns so your knee is pointing vertical into your push tip.
Sawadee guys, for our last combo, we're setting up a Superman punch from our back hand. Again, we're starting with a front push kick and we're stepping down already with our foot pointing out at 45 degrees. Again, we're bringing a knee up as if we're going for a back push kick, except we're only bringing our knee up to use our leg as leverage for our Superman punch. Let's give it a try.